So welcome to Challenge the Road, and we've got some of the cars that I've purchased by watching YouTube videos. And the first one I was going to go through was the 911 GT3 RS, which was the 991.1 version. Now, I bought this car because I saw a great video with Chris Harris on, and he went out to Germany, drove the car on their test facility there, and it was a purple car. Now at the time I'd already ordered my GT3 RS and I'd ordered it in silver. Now after watching that video I changed the order to purple because it just really hit me, that video, how that car drove and how it looked. And he had a t-shirt on about 918s that, you know, I can't believe you sold them all. I remember that. I think they made about 800 of those 918s. And yeah, it was an absolutely fantastic video. And I must have watched it probably, I don't know, 20, 30 times, because Chris's driving was amazing in that car. And it was a brilliant test track over in Germany. I think it's their test facility. But what a car that was as well. And when I got that car, I absolutely loved it. And when you get a GT3 product, they give you a driving sort of course at Silverstone, which is absolutely fantastic. And I went there and I done that with them, and it went really well. And I absolutely loved the car even more, because you could do, you know, so much stuff there obviously you can't do on the road. And it drove brilliantly, and the engine, one of the best naturally aspirated engines I think probably ever made. You know, that 4-litre 6-cylinder 500 horsepower, and it revs all the way out to almost, I think, 9,000. I think it was restricted to about 8 in that car. But yeah, I really remember that video, and you know, absolutely brilliant. Chris Harris made it, and I changed my order. I think the car cost about £150,000 back then, which was great value for an RS and a GT product. And I had that car for about 2 years. And then on from there, we go to the DBS. Now, I had a manual DBS, which I really, really enjoyed. And I sold that, and I really, really regretted it. And then I ended up wanting another one, and everyone knows the shape of that DBS is absolutely fantastic. I think it's just one of those cars that's just sort of timeless in how it looks. And I wanted another one, so I went for an automatic with the 4 seats in the back. So well, 2 in the back, so 2 in the front, so 2. Now the first one I had was a manual, and it had 2 seats, and I thought, and I didn't overly enjoy the manual. I know everyone talks now about the manual, but it was set a little bit, I think if I remember, it's set a little bit back, and your elbow hit here, and I really wanted another one. So I watched the Tiffany Dell video from Fifth Gear, and there was a green Aston Martin DBS, and that looked absolutely still one of my favourite colours. And that video that he done, really, really enjoyed it. And I went out and I bought a carbon black edition from VVS, sorry, not DBS, getting muddled up, DBS, VVS, they're all the same. And what a fantastic car that's been. So from watching these YouTube videos, I've had such great experiences of sort of what the car's like, and they were great guys. You know, they're great reviewers. You know, they're going to give you, you know, their honest opinion, which is great. So that was sort of the second one that I've watched a video, and then there is lots of these YouTube videos I've watched that are absolutely fantastic, and then I've gone on and bought cars. Now the third one is one that a YouTube reviewer made, and Mr. JWW, and he made a video on a 675 LT, and really, really enjoyed that video. And probably everyone will remember it because he's famous for this. It said, I think, sell the house, sell your kids, and buy a 675 LT, and well, I did. And I think you almost needed to sell the house to pay for the depreciation of the 675, because I ended up buying 3 of them in the end, because I watched it, I watched the video, I watched other reviews, but that was the main one that stuck in my head. And I thought, right, I really like this car, I'm going to go for them. I think they're going to go up in value. And I think a lot of people had the same idea, and they obviously absolutely tanked in value. Fantastic car, nothing wrong with the car, but the McLarens were just losing hand over fist all the time. So that was the 3rd video I done. And you know, I bought the 675, really enjoyed it. So let's talk about YouTube, all that debate that's out there, obviously with Brooks and, you know, the Drag Times channel, where McLaren have taken down footage that he done, and I thought it would just be a good time to just talk about reviewing cars and people that I watch. Obviously I've spoken about those 3 videos that I watch now. You know, I really enjoy watching reviews of YouTubers, and that's one of the reasons that I started this channel, was because obviously I was, you know, really private with my cars, but actually, you know, enjoy showing them to people and people seeing what these cars are all about, why I enjoy them so much. So I think McLaren now have issued a little bit of an apology for asking him to take down the video, because they didn't think he knew enough about cars and McLarens, I suppose. But he had quite a few McLarens and was giving very honest reviews. I think my position on it is more, you know, I really enjoy being able to bring these cars to you, and obviously it's everyone's decision to buy cars, not buy cars, and you know, everyone's going to do reviews or like different things about cars to the next person. That's just how it is, you know, and that's not going to change. But you wouldn't want, you know, people to drive a car and then not give an honest opinion of it as well. So it's really you know, interesting that McLaren wanted that video taken down, and then obviously it's a shame for the guy, because he runs, you know, a huge amount of McLarens and buys a lot of McLarens. And I think this gets into, you know, the issue of McLaren. I think, as my opinion, and I've owned 4 McLarens, is there is some fundamental, obviously, business errors they've made around warranty, servicing, pricing, build quality. There's quite a lot, and they need to make, you know, quite a big comeback to get in my sort of good books again. I think one trouble I had was actually when I did have the 675 was actually getting a service, and I remember they had the car for quite a long time. I didn't have too many problems fit and finish, a little bit problems with the battery. You do have to put them on trickle charge all the time. I think the warranty and the service was just too much. If you had a McLaren, it's going to cost you probably $5,000 a year just for warranty and service, and I just believe that's too much, and that's why they're depreciating so heavily. So McLarens, for me, I'm more looking in for when like a 570S is probably going to be under £50,000. 600 LTs when they're under 100, and they will be. I know people might think I'm crazy with the pricing, but that is going to happen, because no one's going to pay £5,000 a year to run that car. And there's some real bulletproof cars out there you can buy that don't really go wrong, but with a McLaren it could cost you 30-40 grand, which is a huge amount of money. Right, so let's go into the top 3 car picks for 21. Now, we've seen that the new M3 is out, and that just makes me look at the older M3s, because I know they'll start dropping in price. And the M3 competition, the F80, is dropping down, and I think that's a great car. I know the original F80 M3 was apparently a bit spiky with the handling. I don't know if the turbo come in. I haven't actually driven one, I'd like to, but I'm definitely looking at the M3 competition as a car I'd really like to get into. You've got the 4 seats, 4 doors. I just think it looks right, and when you're looking at sort of 30 to 40,000 pounds, I think that's one that's right in the range. And I have been looking around at ones. I know they do a lovely blue, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a lovely blue they do, like a dark blue, that looks fantastic. And that's a car that's really on the horizon. What do we think of the new one? You know, I'm not convinced on the looks, but I haven't seen it in the flesh. I really want to do that, so I haven't got the exact sort of vision in my mind how I'm going to feel about it. Obviously it could have four-wheel drive as well, which is good in this country in the winter, and obviously then competes with things like the RS4, etc. Second one, the Aston Martins, the V12s, are going up and up in money, and you know, they're going to probably just keep going up and keep going up, and they did drop down. Remember, I think the Aston Martin V12 Vantage manual was sort of a 150k car, and now I think they went down to around 62, 65, but now they are rising back up, and I just feel it's such a great looking car. They got the manual gearbox. I think the later ones have the Tiptronic, but it has the manual gearbox in that, and that's the same with the DBS. That's going up a bit as well now. They're starting to rise. I was looking at the value of my own one. I think we bought it for about 87, and now that is rising right up. And I think the DBS, such a classic shape, that car, sort of 2010 plate. So you've got manual, automatic. I actually prefer the automatic. I know I'm always in manuals and saying about that, but in that car it's more of a GT, and I think the automatic just drives lovely. So that's the sort of the second car I'd be looking at, sort of say 70 to 100k. I think that's a really good car. I think the depreciation's gone on them cars now. The third one is probably a bit of a strange one. You probably wouldn't guess it, but I really like the Renault Megane, sort of the 2011 shape one. I think it's a fantastic looking car, and the RS in that, I was looking at prices sort of 11,000–12,000 pound. Now I know the Clio 182 is going up and up and up in value, and I think that Megane is such a good looking car. I think for 12,000 pound that's going to go up, and you've got great handling, you've got a lovely engine, it's quite affordable to run, and it's probably got loads of grip. I think you could put the old Michelin 4S tyres on, which would really make it. So that's my third pick, is that Megane. But any of those Renaults, I don't know if you've seen, like the V6 Renault, are going up and up and up so quickly. So they're sort of my top three. The ones I spoke about in my videos before, we purchased another 22B. We do think that they are still going to go and go, and you know, I've spoken about that before, so we have got one of those. And then we'll go on in a bit and just talk about some of the projects we've got that are coming up, because we've got some absolutely great projects coming up. One other thing on the top cars to buy, I spoke before about the M3 CSL, and I watched an absolutely great video on Harry's Garage about a manual CSL conversion we've been talking about. It's really enjoyed that video Harry done, and it's made me eager to maybe look again at that CSL, but I just can't find any on the market. Seems like it's really dried up on cars. I don't know if more people are doing the manual, so they're keeping them, but I couldn't find hardly any for sale. As I say, I really enjoy the M3. It's such a great car, and yeah, that was a really brilliant video by Harry. Really enjoyed it. And again, that's that thing of, you know, different influence or YouTubers. I just really enjoy his channel. I also really enjoy his farming channel as well, watching stuff on that about his land. You know, really enjoy that. And these you know, these YouTube people out there, influencers, whatever you call them, I just really enjoy the content they produce. So we're on our way, change car to Unique Vehicle Repairs over in Horseman Den. They're going to have a look at this 22B, and I wanted to give a little bit of a CTR update at the same time. So let's start with this 22B. So we bought this one, I think about 6 weeks ago, 32,000 miles, needs a bit of work, which I love that. Love cars, we've got to put a bit of effort in. So we've been cleaning the interior, but now we need to look at the bodywork. So we're going to take it over to Matt, let him have a look at the car. I've got a few bits I want to talk through with him. I've seen maybe a little bit of rust on the arches, only tiny bits. We've got all the stickers to take off. We want to make this a bit of a challenge the road car, so you know, I'm really interested in getting this looking absolutely right for all the car shows coming up. Dan and Jess can then take that along, I can come along too, but it just gives us that car at events that's very, very special. So a couple of bits. I think at first I was thinking of respraying the whole car, but I'm thinking we're going to do front and back bumper, address all the other bits on here, take all the stickers off, but leave some room on the top. I think I like this Subaru band at the top. I like the tinted windows on the back, so I think we'll leave all that, maybe put a little challenge the road sticker on the side. We've got quite a few people interested in driving the 22B, seen through glass, and a few others are going to come down. So if we get this absolutely right, they can come down and drive one of the greatest cars ever produced. So let's go to our second car, which is the Ford Focus RS. They keep going up, we said that, and they're going up even more. I've been looking at the prices again. Now, nice thing with our car was the actual interior and everything was absolutely spot on, and the service history was good. But what I noticed was on some of the panels, I think that it may have had a bit of a respray on the back arch, and I wasn't 100% happy. So what I did was, we sent it up and had it fully resprayed the whole car. I just wanted to preserve the car. For some reason, I really like that Focus RS Mark 1. I think it's a really nice car, and I thought, right, that's it, I'm just going to redo it. You know, obviously it takes the cost of the car up, but we're preserving another brilliant car. So that one's up there. Looking forward to getting that back, doing a bit more on the interior, getting it even cleaner, but that is absolutely perfect, that car now. Next one, Aston Martin's GT3 RS. So they're both gone to Harwood's for service, and they are being collected next week. They're over at the storage and they are going for service. So I don't think you guys have seen the DBS, but I've got a carbon black DBS, absolutely fantastic car, and that sit with the GT8, and then we're going to do a little video on that. I'm going to go through all the servicing costs and bit for that car as well. It's 22B, makes you wants to go. What else we got? We got the Caterham, the Super Sprint 1 of 1. That's going to need a service over at Caterham, a bit of a clean up. Scooter here, that must be coming up for service. So what's happened as we come out of lockdown, a lot of the cars need servicing. So I think it's going to be a really exciting time for us. We've got quite a lot planned, and now as this lockdown's easy and we feel a little bit more comfortable getting out and doing things. Oh, the other 22B, that went to Perfection Valet. That's been absolutely cleaned underneath, inside, everywhere, and looks absolutely fantastic. And we're going to put that into storage for now. Keep that for 2023, see how the values are, and then we'll use this 22B as our main one. What have we got else car wise coming up? Obviously Scooter here. We've still got the 355. That's a bit of a funny story on that one. We went to the storage and we couldn't find the car, so which is a bit embarrassing, and we said to them, is the 355 here, because we thought it was a little bit of a joke that we couldn't find the car. And we found the car, but it was actually at Fosker's. In the last lockdown we had it serviced, and we must have just left the car there and forgot. So when we get to the storage yard, we think it's there, it's not there. Luckily it's all safe and well at Fosker's, so that was quite a funny one. But we're really enjoying doing up these cars. I say I'm excited about the Focus, I'm excited about doing this, and it's actually really nice. You can buy a car and then spend that little bit of money on it, making it as you want, researching it. Like I'm trying to find the gold, the correct gold for these wheels, which seems to be quite difficult for people to give out. They don't overly want to give the information easily, but we've got to get the wheels done on this. So yeah, it's just it's nice, and then you get the weather like this, I can get out, clean the cars myself, do a few bits. We removed the Nokia car kit from this one as well. Rally car updates. The Subaru was supposed to come down, but it had a problem with the dash, the S5 World Rally car. So that's now had to go off to someone else, so we couldn't do that video. Maybe it's better because the weather's getting better now. The Lancia, we were supposed to video that today. That broke down, so that needs to be looked at. We're not having much luck with the rally cars. The Focus hasn't got any fuel. What else have we got coming up? Murcielago. That probably needs to have a bit of a run. That's going to go over to VVS, have an MOT, and then we can't wait to get that out. That is a stunning car. M3, we just drove that, but that's going to have some body work done. That's going over to Matt again. He's going to be doing front bumper, back bumper. Might do the bonnet on that one, but again, I really love that car and I just want to make it the best it can be. The wheels has been a challenge with the alloys. We don't really know anyone at the moment who can sort of take them apart. They've obviously got the alloy locks and you get a lot of brake dust in them. And I can't seem to clean them very well, and I can't seem to find someone who does the polished rims. So if anyone knows anyone who can do them sort of AC Schnitzer alloys, please get in touch, because that would really help us. So that one's being done up as well. So instead of sometimes just going and buying more cars, I actually like to really make them absolutely on the button, isn't it? It's such a satisfying feeling when you can do that. And some of the cars I've been looking at lately, I actually quite like the ones that are a little bit of a challenge, need a bit of work. And if you know all the right contacts, they could really bring these cars up and make them look fantastic. So we're going to head over to Matt now, and then we'll carry on from there. You all right, Matt? How you doing? I've got another Subaru, but this one's the right way up.